one low bat, where do you charge? Where do you get your power? Where do you source your inspiration? I'd like to share with you some inspirations of the source of that energy, of that why. One of the very first inspirations I got, that element I got about the why, is from the Sumilaw farmers. A why awakened in poverty and in struggle, not in stability nor acquisitions. I realized, and this is my first point, happiness is an inside job. Second, the minute you discover that why, that inside job of a happiness, it survives anyhow. From the Sumilaw struggle where we got the land back, we struggled through the extension of the agrarian reform. And we continued, and I realized that why also produces fruits and converges goodwills. Included in that picture is the alternative lawyer Kaka Bag-aw, who walked with the farmers 1,700 plus kilometers from Sumilaw all the way to Malacanang. And now, she's part of the House of Representatives. Included in that is Attorney Marlon Manuel, right across her, who's also part of the government right now. And the other farmers who just won an award of the Ozanam Award in the Ateneo. This why that converges goodwills and produces fruits, inspires, and transcends. In fact, one inside story is that prior to the arrival of the Sumilaw farmers, there were this Sumilaw 6 that we call, 6 university students, who were campaigning for slippers for the farmers. I was just telling them, so long as they're not Havaianas, that's okay. So they were gathering slippers, but the minute the farmers entered the university, when they were able to embrace, talk to the farmers, suddenly the campaign for the slippers became a campaign for land, became a campaign for life. And then we marched all the way to Malacanang together with other 3,000 protesters. The minute we got into Malacanang, the cabinet secretary sat beside me and whispered to me, brother, I was still a brother then, not a sister, brother, remember, the people across the table are also from your university. And that disturbed me. That agitated me. I was thinking to myself, let's just close all these schools. And we produce enemies also. This is a futile exercise. If we're also producing enemies across the table. And then after that period of emo, when I was already quieting down, I should have told this cabinet secretary, you wait. We will produce more from our factories for this other side of the table. And indeed we are producing such. After the victory in Sumilaw, the why actually continues. Right now, we struggle against a development aggressor in Kasiguran in Aurora, produced by a political dynasty who, one of them was in the Senate, the son was in the Congress, and the sister happens to be the governor. And this is a why that continues to fight. A why that is not afraid to ask the tough question in the unpopular why. Why are we still puzzled? How come the economic growth is not trickling down? Because we're not consulting the people. When the Economic Planning Secretary was presenting to me the economic model of the Philippines, there is no box nor element or step in the process about consultation. Why are we baffled? Why are we so gung-ho about inclusive development, and yet we allow a PECO, a development aggressor, to continue? We ask those questions, and yet I'm not giving up, because this why also produces a way. And I'm so hopeful about social enterprises. In the social enterprises, once you discover the why deep within, actually it facilitates the how and the what. So regardless of the model you're pursuing in terms of social enterprises, so long as you know the why, the what and the how and the when and even the how much will be so easy, because the why is already clear. I am just a hardcore social entrepreneur that I still define social entrepreneurship to be community-based, social business enterprise, meaning the community will have to be involved. Without community, there should be no social enterprise. And the community should always have a voice all the way to the board. And so in Rags to Riches, the Payatas Nanays take one seat in our very limited 5 board member seat. The why that produces the way, produces the how and the what. But this is my observation. Lately, there have been so many projects, so many competitions, so many conferences about social entrepreneurship. But I think what is lacking right now is the who. Not the what, not the how, not the strategy. You can easily Google that. Not the how much, because there's so much funding. What we need is a who. And so, we need people who has clear whys. Like Mark Ruiz, who founded Happy Noi, who learned all this management and business tools from a multinational and applied it to organize a chain of stores. We need someone like Bam who pursues the why even in the government. We need a why that gathers who's, because one thing I realize is that in social entrepreneurship, it is always collaborative. No one can pursue any project by himself or alone or by herself. A why that will survive anyhow. A why that is in love. A why that will be ingenious. My why right now, after founding Rags to Riches, with Reese grabbing Forbes 30 under 30 social entrepreneurs, a very elite list in the world right now, one of the only 5 Rolex Young Laureates in the world, after getting a TED fellowship and so forth and so on. My why right now is no longer what social enterprise. My why right now is no longer how to make a social enterprise successful. My why right now is a who. I wish to find the fine fellows. Let's watch the video.
They say the world needs visionaries, radicals, inventors, champions, the passionate ones, leaders, followers, deviants. See the problems of the world as a sea of opportunities. See it in a different light and join the social good fight. Like how Rags to Riches links the Payatas Nanays with high fashion designers and started social statement in style. Or when Happy Noi applies the best practices of retail into the context of sari-sari stores. Route 63 commits to promote Philippine destinations and cultures through responsible tourism. There's Enchanted Farm that transforms idle and unproductive lands to sustain local communities and open them to a world of opportunities locally and globally. Kawil Tours is an ecotourism social enterprise that offers one-of-a-kind meaningful journeys by reconnecting the majestic island of Ucolion, Palawan to the world after more than a century of isolation. Wild Got Heart Foundation, an eco-ethical shop, supports more than 100 local farmers and indigenous communities through various community programs in education, health, entrepreneurship, earth conservation, and arts and culture. Heroic Leadership unearths the hero in each Filipino based on a best-selling book by Chris Lowney that utilizes a business model that helps as it works. And Human Nature that produces world-class organic personal care products that are genuinely made in the Philippines, proudly made by Filipinos. And how about you? Be a fine fellow today. The Filipino Innovators, Nation Builders, and Earth Advocates is a social impact movement. It searches for and molds promising social entrepreneurs so that change makers multiply and help social good spread like crazy. Fine Fellows conducts primers, boot camps, and incubation programs to organizations, groups, or individuals who are committed to do their part. You can be a fine fellow by starting your own social enterprise and help solve a social problem in your community. Make it sustainable, profitable, and socially relevant. Who knows how much ripple effect of social good you can do? Now back to you. Yes, you are what the world needs today. You are the solution. The profound way to change the world is through simplest of ideas. From you, be an innovator, a nation builder, an earth advocate. Be a fine fellow.
Some of the outstanding Filipino social entrepreneurs got featured in that video. But I realized we always gather together. We're friends. It's a small circle. We need to multiply the breed. We need more Filipinos who can faithfully sing nang mamatay ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. We need more innovators who can imagine beyond the rug, because at the start when I was telling them that rug will become world-class, they were laughing at me. We need more innovators who can stand those laughters. We need nation builders who can work with other nation builders, who can think of the nation first before the self. We need earth advocates who will not be pursuing businesses at the expense of the environment. We need Filipino innovators, nation builders, and earth advocates. We need people who know their whys in their lives, not dictated by an outside voice. We need people who know the inner voice and listens to such. And for my why, I need that who, the fine fellows, so we can multiply our breed and reap more awards and create more social impact, because everything is really collaborative, everything is interconnected. Know your why, then let's talk about the who. Good afternoon.